Good morning from New York. We just spent the week here. We're heading home today, not through air, but through train. We've arrived this morning at Moynihan train station, part of Pennsylvania Station, Penn Station, the former main branch of the New York Post Office, or U.S. Post Office in New York City. Making our way into the Daniel Patrick Moynihan train hall. Look at all the light coming in. And vendors in the train hall. Look at that clock. Ticketing and baggage check-in. In case you're wondering, they do have baggage check. There was no extra cost. You just go in. As long as it's 50 pounds or under, they will check your bag and have it waiting for you when you arrive. So Moynihan does service all of the Amtrak routes. Since we are heading to Orlando, we paid for a roomette, which also gives us access to the lounge area. Now, when we moved from New York 20 years ago, this was still the post office. They've done a pretty fantastic job at renovating everything here. Now, if you didn't have lounge access, you can go into the ticketed waiting room off to the side, and you have a lounge area. You can see from the floor up top with views of the hall. We're gonna head into the lounge. Heading on up. Gonna check in. All right, we're heading in. Look at this. We have tables with plugs. Food and drinks. See, some coffee and juice, tea, chips. They do have a bar that doesn't open until 11 a.m. And we have some food items here. Bagels, muffins.
Oh, thank you.
There's all kinds of goodies in here. You can even get some candy, Kind bars or peanuts. There's some breakfast items that are complimentary, part of our lounge access. Sausage, egg, and cheese croissant, not too shabby. This is the view of Moynihan from up above. We have a model of the newest Acela train in the lounge also. And by the way, I am by far not a train expert, but this is something we've wanted to do for years, to be able to take the train from New York all the way to Orlando. And by all means, this is kind of a test run so that we can see about trying to get on a train to do cross-country travel and see some of the sights. If you're looking for expert level travel, I suggest you check out Jeb Brooks on YouTube. We follow his videos often. And there's also a wealth of other train enthusiasts that post really informative videos and gorgeous scenery from their cars. And we are boarding track 11. Heading down for boarding. Heading to the rear. We're heading in. We are in roomette number 7. And we got one of the newer roomette cars. Here's home.
Ooh.
And it is
tiny.
Tiny. We're gonna give you the quick tour here of this roomette car. So we have 2 seats. The older cars had a toilet here instead of these steps. Cups and a sink. The sink, pull down. You can put that back in place. Towels, because we have a washroom car along the way. And there's one bed up here that will pull down. You can see the come down this level. And this turns into a bed as well. You have a tray in the middle, so you can kind of sit here with your companion and eat or play games, etc. Outlets, air conditioner, thermostat, lights, speaker button, attendant button, and storage.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That's 3 bags up there.
That's nice.
There you go. But as far as space, this is essentially what you're looking at for roomette space.
We're going to be staring at each other the whole ride.
Just have a trash bin. There's storage under the seat there as well. And while you're in here, we have a privacy curtain and your door does close. And before we get going, I'll give you a quick peek at the shower room. So you have a little wash area. You open up. Shower head. Seat. Not too shabby. And right across the way is a restroom. A couple of these here. Toilet, sink, soap. And behind us is a luggage car where I can see my luggage is right there. At the end of the car is some ice and coffee. And then you also have these bedroom cars. These are more expensive than the roomette cars. Have a larger space in here for all of your activities. Plus, your own bathroom, shower, and bunk beds. You can see where this bed folds down up here. Push for bed. Mary's all set.
Yeah, you can recline a little bit.
Oh, and you can recline the seat by pulling down on the lever as well. And so this journey from New York, Penn Station, to Orlando, Florida is roughly 23 hours. That's without any types of delays. We do make a hard stop in DC so that I can switch out the engine. We run an electric up until DC and then we switch over to diesel power. The roomette and bedroom cars come with meals as well, so we'll be able to select something to eat for lunch and for dinner, and then I believe for breakfast again tomorrow as well. Well, at 11:02 prompt, when we were supposed to depart, we departed. The attendant came by to give us a menu for lunch. We're gonna make our lunch selections, and we get to choose between 12:30 or 1:30 to sit down and eat. This is the menu we're looking at here. Do I go hamburger? I'll be honest, the children's menu looks better to me than the adults menu coming here. But yeah, a savory chili bowl, or a baked potato with chili, or plant-based burger, or Angus burger, a Monte Cristo sandwich, and an ask your server for today's lunch dessert selections. Dinner is on the back as well, so you can plan ahead. I think I'm going to do flat iron steak tonight. They do have a pan roasted chicken breast, Atlantic salmon, and rigatoni desserts, chocolate toffee mousse, white chocolate blueberry cobbler cheesecake, and ultimate Meyer lemon cake. And at night, we do get one bar selection because we are in a sleeper car. We've made it out of the tunnel. New Jersey. Well, first stop is Newark, New Jersey. New Jersey Transit down below. And this definitely looks like Newark. Aside, the city of Newark really being built up the last 20 or so years here. Pulling into the train station. Next stop, Trenton, New Jersey. New Brunswick, New Jersey. So we're 40 minutes in. I don't know if you can hear that jingle jangle. It's in the wall. electrical outlets. That side and this side do not work yet. The attendant said that he knows how to fix them. Heading past Mercerville and into Trenton here momentarily. After Trenton, it's on to Philly. Some more guys working. We've made our stop in Trenton. So by the way, this train does make 38 stops from New York, and it continues on all the way to Miami, even though we're getting off in Orlando, Florida. It covers 1,522 miles altogether. As we pass by and looking them up on the phone. That's why you come on these trips. A lot of trains in the train yard. While we're stopped in Philadelphia, it coincides with our dining time. These are the older roomette cars that have the toilet in the car, which is really kind of bizarre to me. But we are heading to dining, which is this way.
Welcome aboard.
Hello, hello.
Anywhere.
And we are first in the dining car. We have our flowers here. Menu again. And it is community seating, so the two of us need to sit on one side and other folks to sit on the other side, should they show up. Kitchen car straight ahead, where they're making our food. Coming out of the tunnel. Got a Monte Cristo sandwich. This is actually really good. And this is our view as we dine. Got some bottled water.
I'm going to do the same. Don't mind.
Arriving Wilmington, Delaware. Butter cake in the house. It looks good. Well, we passed through Wilmington and now the next stop is Baltimore. The food was absolutely delicious. And by the way, we had company. It is community seating. They encourage you to sit with others. By encourage, I mean they literally sit people right across from you so that there's conversation and you get to know your neighbors here. But the food was delicious. We had butter cake that was phenomenal. And it was one of the best Monte Cristo sandwiches I've ever had. All right, before we go back to our car, we're gonna do a little exploring. Check out the General Cafe car. Ah, here's the cafe car and items that you can get. Cheese stromboli, cheeseburger, tamales, mac and cheese, hot dogs, cup of noodles, all kinds of candies and snacks. And you can also get your cocktails here. They had a whole countertop. And there's plenty of seating. coach cars up beyond here. These are like the general cafe tables. Butcher that name, I'm sure. We are flying at this point. Approaching Aberdeen. And then on to Baltimore. Now going across the Bush River. Next stop, Washington, D.C. That's where we'll switch over from the electric engine to the diesel engine.
Last break of the trip next, if you'd like to have a cigarette or stretch your legs, you may. Also, it is a service stop for train number 91. Meaning we would temporarily lose power while we're in the station. Again, folks, we will not have power aboard the train while we're in the Washington station stop. Your toilets will not be operable in the station. We ask that you use our restrooms now and before the arrival in Washington. Your restrooms will not be operable in the station. Please refrain from using the restrooms. Your cafe lounge will close as well. It will reopen upon announcement after the Washington station stop. Again, our nation's capital coming up.
Pulling into DC here.
DC will be our next station stop. Prior to that arrival, folks, if this is your destination, please ensure you have everything that you brought on board. Not on one in the opening, so we ask that you exit only where you see a member of the crew. Those of us traveling further south, Washington does serve as the first rest or smoke break. So you may step down here in Washington and stretch your legs and have a cigarette. Please, folks, stay train side. Listen for any reboarding announcements for train number 91. Again, not our doors will open. It is a service stop for the train that you had chosen upon boarding the train. Here in Washington, we will fill to near capacity. The vacant seats have already been recorded as being available so that we may accommodate our passengers here in Washington.
There's the Acela. Get to stretch our legs out here a little bit.
I'm standing in the sun.
Yeah, switch out the engine. The electric, and away it goes. You can see the connectors here. The main engine is going to come up this way. We have another train at the station here too. Lots of activity here. And I also thought that was your luggage for a second. Here comes our diesel engine. Back it up and hook it right together. Look at that. This has been a very busy station since we've been here. Yet another train heading out to Northeast Regional. Look at that, it's the capital. There it goes. Wow. That concludes our 5-second tour of Washington, D.C. And Virginia Railway Express next to us. Ooh. Oh, look at that. A little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention, please? Please have all tickets out, folks. All tickets out, regardless of where you boarded train number 91.
From DC heading through Potomac Yard. Pulling into Alexandria. So after Alexandria, the next stop on this train is Richmond, Virginia, and it's about an hour and 45-minute journey to that stop, which will take us to just about 5:45 p.m. or so. We scheduled our next meal, dinner, at 6 o'clock. You had options for 5, 6, or 7 o'clock. Passing by some water here, the Occoquan Bay. Might be butchering that. Which leads into the Potomac River. See out the back there. The windows are very dirty, so apologize for the reflections. Richmond. Not much to see, but plenty of happy little trees. The sun is getting long. We're just out of Fredericksburg, and we still got about an hour to Richmond. And this is very peaceful and lulling us both to sleep here. We're going through Richmond. Literally, it looks like we're driving down a block. Look at a person's house. Wow.
There's some beautiful houses.
To Richmond, Virginia.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Richmond, Virginia. Please exit where you see a member of the crew.
All right, dinner time. Salad, roll. Salad was awesome. The rolls were fresh. And we're about to pull into Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Wow, look at that steak.
Started cutting it.
Mary got salmon. Look at that chocolate mousse for dessert. Mary got cheesecake. Well, we just finished eating dinner. Our communal dining partners were an elderly couple going to visit their grandchild in Winter Park. Fantastic conversation, but even more importantly, fantastic food. It was absolutely delicious. Even flying first class, I can't remember ever having something that was that great for a meal. We asked when they returned to full dining on this line because all of the videos that we've seen up to this point, and even the menus that we've seen online, point to them still using TV dinner type meals, which are basically black plastic containers that are microwaved with TV dinner quality meals. And they've returned to fine dining, at least on the Silver Star, going both directions, north and south, from New York to Miami and back, but not on the Silver Meteor, which is the alternate train that does this same route. Geography-wise, we are passing Roanoke Rapids and heading to Rocky Mount shortly. The sun is going down. Sunset tonight at 8:03 p.m., 1 hour from now. It looks like we're racing it though. The one thing about these Roomettes, you either have one side or the other. And we do have the west-facing Roomette, so we won't be able to see the sunrise in the morning. So we'll take what we can now. Oh no, we're stopped by Whitaker's. North Carolina, they just made an announcement. We're stopped because of an engine issue. Once the issue is corrected, we'll be moving again.
Currently inspecting a minor issue with our engine reset. Once this problem is resolved, we will proceed on to our next station stop of Rocky Mount. So sorry for the slight delay.
We've lost the light outside, but we're also still just holding here for the last half hour for an update on the engine. We're almost an hour into the delay here, but the attendant came and made our beds up. I'm gonna go top bunk. Mary go bottom bunk. So while we sit and wait, power's come back on, which is a good sign, but I am in the top bunk of this bed. You can see the clearance for your head. I don't think I've ever slept in a top bunk of a bunk bed before. There's this little strap as if I'm gonna roll out and need to be supported somehow. The most difficult thing is just getting up. You can see how the stairs are a little harrowing, but I think that these are probably better stairs than the toilet cars that we saw earlier. We're still staying here. You just see Mary's little head above the bed here. What a chore to get up and down for this thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'll probably just pee in my pants later instead. So going on 2 hours and no updates here. We're just sitting.
Once they fix it, we'll be moving momentarily, please. We're sorry for this major delay. I know you're trying to get to your destination. I know y'all got things to do, but please bear with us while we fix the issue. Once we fix the issue, we'll be moving forward to y'all destination. Well, the next destination is Rocky Mount. We'll be moving forward to Rocky Mount. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are sorry for this brief delay. Well, it's a major delay, but
3 hours.
we're sorry for this major delay. Hopefully.
What you gonna do? Get out and walk the rest of the way. Yeah. Well, about 4 hours later, it looks like we're finally, maybe, on the road to resuming our travels. Getting comfortable. I think it's time to just get some sleep. Good morning, everybody. We've already passed Columbia, South Carolina, heading into sunrise. My review of the top bunk is like sleeping on a slab of concrete. And there is a window for the top bunk too, so you can see everything that's going on as we're whizzing by here. By the way, our sink just drips forever. At least the major positive now that it's morning, we can go get breakfast. Something is rotten in Denmark. A couple people got off. It is time for breakfast. I am looking forward to some scrambled eggs and bacon. And Mary wants to go signature railroad French toast. We are whipping along here again. And we are heading to Savannah. Wow, Mary's French toast has arrived. That looks amazing. And here's my scrambled eggs and bacon. How's the French toast? The eggs were great. I wish I didn't get them with the cheese in it though. They were very well done. Came back to the car and the attendant had already broken down the beds and reconfigured back into seating. I think due to delays, we have about 6 more hours to go. Yay! While we pause here for a moment, see a freight car going by. Next stop, Jacksonville. Latest update is we are right outside of Jacksonville, Florida, and we're just dead stopped. Announcement overhead to let us know that we're waiting for a replacement engineer because the engineer that's on board has reached his maximum amount of hours. So a replacement engineer is on his way, is nearby, but we can't move forward until he gets here. We're just waiting and waiting and waiting. Sunny the whole way until we finally start approaching Florida and getting closer to home. We are finally arriving in Jacksonville. It's raining here. We've stopped in Jacksonville for a little extended break, stretch your legs, smoke, whatever. And outside, it is pouring. Because of our delays, we end up having one more meal here. So we've both got the burger for lunch. Burger is okay, not as good as the Monte Cristo. home of the manatees. Heading into Sanford. Florida. Our stop for Orlando coming up next. Our next stop is Orlando, and if you are curious, we were riding in the newer sleeper car, which was car 9111. Car 9110 was the older sleeper car. We have arrived! And in case you were wondering, this is what the Orlando station looks like. A little bit different than Patrick J. Moynihan in New York City. Well, 28 hours later, we're finally back home. It was supposed to be a 23-hour trip. We ended up having 5 hours tacked on. 4 hours broken down last night where they needed all kinds of help to try to get the engine repaired, and then apparently the system wasn't recognizing the fixes that were made to the engine, so they had to keep rebooting the train. It kind of had this image of like a PC being rebooted over and over and over again to try to make it work. Finally worked. We made up time overnight, and then we had issues again today, multiple times. So every time that we would make up time, had more time added. The train experience overall was cool. I can see taking the train situationally. If you're going cross country and there's sights to see, I think it would be a wonderful way to have a vacation similar to a cruise, and being able to hit different destinations. You're able to get through different locales, see things from the inside of your car. There's not a tremendous amount of things to see on that train ride from New York to Florida, except in the DC area, but a lot of homes, and you can kind of see the stages of homes and businesses along the train route as well. The food was phenomenal. The service was fantastic. A lot of the folks that we ended up meeting on the train, they were great as well. So, you know, that part was really great. The roomette with 2 people, I think it can be done. There's certainly enough room to coexist. That top bunk, though, really not the best way to try to get some shut-eye. You know, kind of every time the train really shimmies like this, it feels like you're going straight off the top bunk. And there are some restraints to make sure that you don't do that. But the mattress as well, not the greatest. But it was a great experience, and I'm glad that we were finally able to do it. Thanks a lot for coming along. Thank you very much for all of your likes, comments, and subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great day. We'll see you guys.